Sridevi madam.
Namaskaram everyone. Welcome back to TSMS webinars. Good morning students. Today we shall have 3 sessions starting with chemistry, then we have botany, and then we have a session on mathematics. I hope all the senior inter students are making use of this. And in continuation of yesterday's chapter, solutions, PGT chemistry, Sri Lakshman Garu is ready to continue the next topic from solutions. He is already known to you. Sri Lakshman sir is a PGT chemistry from TSMS Julapalli, Peddapalli district. I request Lakshman sir to continue with his webinar on solutions from chemistry. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, students. So, I am Lakshman, PGT chemistry. So now we can continue the lesson. So I will share my screen. Let us continue the topic solutions. In this solution, we can discuss today what is solubility, Henry's law, Raoult's law, ideal solutions, non-ideal solutions, positive deviation, negative deviation. So we can observe this picture clearly. Here you can see the about solute is there. The solute is coming to the solvent. The solvent particles all are capture the solute. So in this, coming to the what is solubility. So what is the solubility? Means the solubility of a substance is its mixing amount that can be dissolved in a specified amount of solvent at a specified temperature. Okay. Solubility of a substance is its maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specified amount of solvent at a specified temperature. So simply you can say the maximum amount of solute is dissolved in a specified amount of solvent. Maximum amount of solute is dissolved in a specified amount of solvent at a specified temperature is called a solubility. Okay. So here you can see solvent particles in a picture. The solvent particles, the maximum solvent particles is dissolved in a maximum specified amount of solvent. Okay. So this solubility can be depend upon the nature of solute and solvent, temperature and pressure. So let's see the solubility in solutions and factors affecting on solubility in solutions. So here let us consider the two types of solutions. In the solubility of a solid in liquid and solubility of a gas in liquid. Already previous we discussed the solutions is mainly 3 types, that is a gaseous solution, liquid solution and another type is solid solutions. So in this liquid type of solutions, we are seeing solid in liquid and gas in liquid. Okay. So we can see the solubility in solid in liquid. So after we can see solubility of a gas in liquid. Let's come into the first one is a solid in liquid. The solubility of a solid in liquid. So factors affecting on solubility on liquid. The first factor is a nature of solute and a solvent. So every solid does not dissolve in every liquid. For example, while the sodium chloride and sugar dissolve readily in water, naphthalene and anthracene do not dissolve in the water. Clearly, listen. While sodium chloride and sugar dissolve readily in water, naphthalene and anthracene do not dissolve in the water. Coming to the another hand, naphthalene and anthracene dissolves readily in the benzene, but sodium chloride and sugar do not dissolve in the benzene. Okay, clearly you can observe here, the sodium chloride and sugar is dissolved in a water, but do not dissolve in the benzene. Naphthalene and anthracene both are dissolved in the benzene, but do not dissolve in the water. So that means the polar solute is dissolved in the polar solvents only. Polar solute dissolve in the polar solvents, like a non-polar solute dissolve in the non-polar solvents only. So the chemical interaction between the solute and solvent is when the similar, they can easily form of a solution. So this type of solution is called a like dissolve like. Okay. When a solution dissolves in a solvent, if a chemical interaction are similar in the both solute and solvent, so we can say like dissolve like. So you can observe in this picture, the first one in this. So this total blue color is the water. In this water, we kept a solid. The solid particles, some of the solid particles is dissolved in the water. Okay, let's come into the second one. In this second one picture, you can see the copper is kept in a glass of water. After the some time, we are the taken is one thread is we will kept. So the thread is taken. The some of the solid particles are attached or separated out from the solvent. Okay, so let's come into the dissolution. When a solid solute is added to the solvent, some solute dissolves and the concentration of the solution increases. This process is known as dissolution. And some crystallization. Some solute particles in solution may also collide with the other solute particle and get separated out of solution. This process is known as crystallization. So here you can see clearly. In this the first one picture. When we kept a solid solute in the water, so some of the solute particle only dissolved. When some of the solute particle dissolved, the automatically the solution concentration will be the increased. So that is called a dissolution. And in a second picture, the mixing of a solution, some of the solute particles is the collide to the other solute particles, collide to the other solute particles, and they are separated out. So separated from the solution. So that is called a crystallization. So here the number of solute particles is dissolved in the solution is equals to the number of solute particles are separated from the solution is both are equal. So that's why these two form of a dynamic equilibrium, the sometimes these both processes occur simultaneously in the solution. So when the dynamic equilibrium is represented as a solute plus solvent is equilibrium to the solution. Okay, this is a dissolution and crystallization. So now coming to the effect of temperature and pressure. First one, the effect of temperature. The effect of temperature in a saturated solution, effect of temperature, we are considered as a saturated solution. In this, the saturated solution, when the dissolution is a endothermic, so if the endothermic, the solubility increases with the rise the temperature. And when the dissolution is a exothermic, so on the time the solubility is a decrease with a decrease in temperature. Okay, so this is the effect of temperature. Already you know that what is the dissolution, and when endothermic means the heat will be absorbed, exothermic means heat is evaporated. So see this the picture, when in a solution decrease the temperature, the solute particles is coming to the solvent. Okay, increase the temperature is the only sum of the solute. So solubility is the increase, decrease. Solubility increase with the rise in temperature, and the solubility is decrease with the decrease with the temperature. Let's come into the pressure effect. So does not have any significant effect as a solid in liquid or highly okay, so totally when we are the taken, it is a system. This system is a lower part. This lower part is having a solution. The upper part is the taken as a gaseous. Okay, lower part is a totally solution. The upper part is a totally gas is there, and this system is at a dynamic equilibrium. So when we applied the pressure on this system, so what will happen here? The number of solute particles are increases per unit volume, and second one is the solubility is increase. Okay, once again you can listen. So when we apply the pressure, the number of gas particles per unit volume is increased, and the solubility also increase. Okay, so when we apply more and more pressure, so until to the new equilibrium will be the form. So solubility also the increase. So the relationship between this pressure, that means a partial pressure, and the solubility is the first given by a Henry. So this Henry was the first to give a quantitative relationship between the pressure and the solubility of a gas in solvent, which is known as a Henry's law. So the law states that a constant temperature, the solubility of a gas in liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas present above the surface of liquid or solution. Okay, so you can see, so what will say the Henry? So total partial pressure, this total partial pressure is a directly proportional to the solubility. Okay, so this is the relationship is the given by a Henry. That is the statement is given the solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure the gas present above the surface of liquid or solution. So next, the commonly we can use the Henry's law. The Dalton and Henry, this is similarly given the final Henry's law statement is that is the Henry's law stated that the partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase is proportional to the mole fraction of a gas. Okay, so here the partial pressure of a gas in vapor phase, partial pressure of a gas. So this gas is there in the vapor phase is a proportional to the mole fraction. So proportional means directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas. You can see, observe this in this picture also is there. Here the partial pressure, this total gas is there, but here pressure is not applied. Okay, that's why. So total partial pressure of the gas is a directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in the solution. So here mole fraction of the solution. So inside of the solution gas is there, and above of the solution also gas is there. So what is the mole fraction? The number of moles of the one component by the total number of the all the components. That is a mole fraction. So the Henry's law is expressed as a P is equal to the KH. So before we can see here, so partial pressure of a gas is represented with P is directly proportional to the mole fraction, directly proportional. So and X. So P directly proportional to the X. When we want to remove the proportionality, we can keep a one equal to and constant. So P is equals to the KH into X. So here P is a vapor pressure and KH is a Henry's constant and X is a mole fraction. So here the KH is the Henry's law constant. Next, coming to the application of Henry's law. So first one application is in the production of carbonated beverages, means we are using the soft drinks, that is a Sprite or Thumbs Up, anything. In this above, when we are open the tap, so sound will be coming, means that is gas will be the coming. So that is a partial pressure. So under this CO3 minus 2 gas, so that is carbonated beverages. So Henry's law applicable in the carbonated beverages, and in the deep sea diving, when we going to the down into the sea, the Henry's law is applicable, and for climbers or people at a high altitude also Henry's law is applicable. Okay, so let's come into the vapor pressure. So vapor pressure means vapor pressure of a liquid is the pressure exerted by the vapor in equilibrium with the liquid solution at a particular temperature. So vapor pressure is directly proportional to the escaping tendency. Let clearly we can observe here. So we are learning now vapor pressure of a liquid. We are learning. So what is the meaning of vapor pressure of the liquid? Is the pressure exerted by a vapor in the equilibrium. Pressure exerted by a vapor pressure in equilibrium with the liquid. So simply we can say that is a pressure exerted by a vapor is called a vapor pressure. So vapor pressure is directly proportional to the escaping tendency. So you can observe this video in this vapor pressure. Here this is the solution is there. So some of the gas particles are escaping and some of the gas particle is coming into the solution. So already we know that is a dynamic equilibrium will be the form. The number of gas particles are escaping from the liquid and the number of gas particles is dissolved in the solution. So to form of a equilibrium. Okay. So above the escaping gas particles. These escaping gas particles are exert the sum of the pressure. So that is called a vapor pressure. Okay. So this is vapor pressure. Okay, we learn Raoult's law. Okay, Raoult's law for volatile solutes. So volatile means, the meaning of the volatile is the solute is capable for the dissolving another solute, or solvent is dissolved into another solute. Okay, so volatile means dissolving capacity of another solute or another solvent is called a volatile. So let's come into the Raoult's law. The partial pressure of a liquid component in a solution is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the liquid component in solutions. This is called a Raoult's law. Okay, once again listen. The partial pressure of a liquid component. The Henry, what will we say? The partial pressure of a gas. Partial pressure of a gas is the directly proportional to the mole fraction. Okay, this is a Henry's law. But Raoult says that the partial pressure of a liquid component in solution is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the liquid component in solution. That is a Raoult's law. So here, if two components, that is A and B, mixed to form of a solution, you can observe here component A red color and component B is a blue in color. These both are mixing to form of a solution. And let's come into the mole fraction of A is. Okay, mole fraction of A is, this is the A. So A component mole fraction is represented with X. That's why XA. Similarly, the mole fraction of the B is XB, this blue color. So this is a B solvent. So this mole fraction is a XB. Next, partial vapor pressure of A is a PA. Okay. So partial vapor pressure of this A component, the red colored, so PA. And the similarly partial vapor pressure of the B, the blue colored, the PB. Next, partial vapor pressure of a B is PB. The partial vapor pressure of a pure component A is a P naught A. So we are the represented the partial vapor pressure of a component is PA, but a pure component is a P naught A. Similarly, partial vapor pressure of a pure component B is P naught B. Okay, we can represent partial vapor pressure of a component B is the PB, but pure component is a P naught B. So according to the Raoult's law, PA is the directly proportional to the XA for A component. Okay, so what we will say, Raoult's, the partial vapor pressure of a liquid solution is directly proportional to the mole fraction. Okay, for A component, apply this Raoult's law. The partial vapor pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction of a component. Similarly, for B component, partial vapor pressure of a B component is directly proportional to the mole fraction of a B component. Okay. So according to the Daltons, the total pressure is equal to the sum of the partial pressures. This is a Dalton law. According to Dalton law, total pressure is equal to the partial pressures. Okay. So we have taken here the total pressure is equals to the PA plus PB for only A component and B component. T total is equals to the, for a pure component we can take. For a pure component is P naught A XA. Okay, P naught A into XA. For plus for B component P naught B XB. P naught B XB. Okay, so total vapor pressure is equals to the, here P naught A is taken. For XA is written as 1 minus XB. For example, we have taken here 1, P naught 1, X1 plus P naught B. P naught B means 2. A is represented as 1, B is represented as a 2, like that, and X2. So when we have taken here the 1 and X1 and X2, so this X2 is there now, this X2 means 1 is written as 1 minus 2. What is the value? 1 only. That's why we can represent it as 1 minus XB plus P naught B XB. Already we know that is a, since sum of the mole fraction of all the component, there is a XA plus XB is equals to the 1. So we can, Raoult's is given concluded as P naught A for this P naught A plus, so 1 into P naught B, 1 P naught B minus, and 1 into P naught A is a P naught A into XB. So this is the given by a Raoult's for volatile solute, and Raoult's law for a non-volatile solute. For non-volatile solute, Raoult's law is the given relative lowering vapor pressure of a dilute solution containing non-volatile solute is equals to the mole fraction. So relative lowering vapor pressure of a dilute solution. So here also taken as a vapor pressure. Okay, it is a solution containing non-volatile solute is equals to the mole fraction. So it is represented as a P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to the XS. So here PS is a vapor pressure of solution, the P naught is vapor pressure of a pure solvent, and XS is a mole fraction of solute. So Raoult's law is a state that for non-volatile solute, P naught minus PS by P naught is equal to the XS. So P naught means vapor pressure of a pure solvent minus vapor pressure of the solution divided by vapor pressure of the pure solvent is equals to the mole fraction of the solute. So this is a Raoult's law for non-volatile solutes. So let's come into the ideal solutions. So based on the Raoult's law, the liquid solutions is divided into two types, that is ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions. So let us discuss the first, the ideal solutions. The solutions which obey Raoult's law at over the entire range of concentration and all the temperatures are called ideal solutions. So according to the Raoult's law, the PA is equal to the P naught A into XA. For B component, PB is equals to the P naught B into XB. For total solution equal to the total solution pressure is equals to the partial pressure of A component plus partial pressure of a B component. So internuclear attractions. So for here we can consider as a solution is it is a component, it is a B component, and it is A and B. So let us see in this according to the Raoult's law. According to the ideal solution, what is the says that ideal solution? The solution which obey the Raoult's law, entire range of concentration at all temperatures is called a ideal solution. So due to this, we are taken as a two solutions in this A component, B component, and AB component. So here intermolecular attractive interactions is the form between the AA component or BB component or AB interactions will be the present. Okay, intermolecular attractive forces is the present between the AA interaction or BB interaction or AB interaction will be the form. And the volume, the sum of the volume equal to the 0. That means the sum of the A component and B component volumes is equals to the sum of the AB components. Okay, so that's why we can represent it. The delta maximum is V is equals to the 0. So volume is a 0. Next, there is no change of the enthalpy. There is no change of the volume and there is no change of the enthalpies. So when A and B both are mixing, no heat will be the entered. Okay, like a total. So total volume is a 0. There is no change of the volume. Okay, A volume and B volume is equals to the sum of the solution volume. And delta H, there is no enthalpy changes. Okay, because of here delta maximum H equal to the 0. Okay, next example of this solution, ideal solution form of a n-hexane and n-heptane. Okay, next second one is a bromoethane, chloroethane will be form of a ideal solutions. Next, coming to the non-ideal solutions. The solution which does not obey Raoult's law at over the all entire range of the concentration and all the temperatures is called a non-ideal solutions. Ideal solutions is obey the Raoult's law and non-ideal solution does not obey the Raoult's law. So here delta maximum H is not equal to the 0. In this previous, we can see in ideal solutions, in ideal solution delta maximum H is equal to the 0, means no change of enthalpy, but here enthalpy will be the changes, maybe a positive or a negative. Remaining delta maximum volume is not equal to the 0. Not equal to 0 means volume also is a maybe high or low. So non-ideal solutions are of two types. So non-ideal solution showing positive deviation from Raoult's law, non-ideal solution showing negative deviation from Raoult's law. So let us come into the positive deviation. Positive deviation from Raoult's law. So based on the Raoult's law, if the vapor pressure in solution is more than the expected value, then it is known as real solution with positive deviation. In such solutions are attraction forces between the molecules of components of solution A and B are less than the attraction of a pure liquids A and B, A and A, or B and B. These solutions form constant boiling mixture azeotrope with minimum boiling points. Okay, so let us see here positive deviation. So vapor pressure of a solution is more than the expected value, then it is known as a real solution with positive deviation. Okay, the vapor pressure of a solution is the more expected value than the Raoult's law. So these are the real solution. So to show that positive deviation. In such solutions are attractive forces between the molecules of components of solutions A and B are less than the attractions of pure liquids A and A, B and B. Okay, so the intermolecular attractive forces between the A and A or B and B is a more than the intermolecular force attractive forces between the A and B. So these solutions form constant boiling mixture azeotropes. Okay, so the solution which is the solution which are the maintain the particular boiling point, the type of solution is called a azeotropes. So these solutions form constant boiling mixtures with a minimum boiling point. Okay, this is a positive deviation. So here enthalpy changes, that is a H sign should be the positive. Okay, and so H sign is showing a positive means it is a endothermic reaction. That means heat will be the observed, and volume also a positive. Volume also a showing positive. Example, ethanol plus water and acetone plus benzene. Okay, these are the example. So let us see here. The positive deviation is the showing that is see A component is the showing. Okay, the normal is according to the Raoult's law, A component curve is this one. Okay, but it is showing as a like this curve. Okay, this is B component, and A component is showing according to Raoult's law is this dotted line, and A component expected is this one. So according to the Raoult's law is showing of a more vapor pressure. Okay, that's why these are showing of a positive deviation. So clearly observe here, according to Raoult's law is the showing is a dotted lines, and but solvent is the showing as a this thick line. Okay, so is a PA, and let it come into the PB. The PB according to the Raoult's law this dotted line, and this curve is the showing as a expected than the Raoult's law more, and showing as a PA plus PB, the both in the solution. The solution is the showing as a according to the Raoult's law is this dotted line, and this thick line is the showing more than the vapor pressure, more than Raoult's law. Okay, is a positive deviation. The examples are ethanol plus water, acetone and benzene. Let's come into the negative deviation. The negative deviation based on Raoult's law, if the vapor pressure of solution is less than expected value, in positive deviation is more than expected value, but in negative deviation is less than expected value, then it's known as a real solution with negative deviation. Okay, in such solutions the attraction forces between the molecule of component of solution A and B are more than the attractions of pure liquids A and A, B and B. So here, which is the having a more means the intermolecular attraction force between the A and B is the more. When we are comparing with the A and A intermolecular attraction forces and B and B intermolecular forces. Okay, so the solution will form boiling azeotropes. Next, the delta H sign should be negative. So if delta H sign is a positive, that is a endothermic. The delta sign should be a negative. That's why it is a exothermic. So we also a negative. So example, HCl water and HNO3 water. So let us comparison between the positive deviation and the negative deviation. Okay, so in this table, this side is a positive deviation, solution with positive deviation, solution with a negative deviation is there. So once we can comparison, AB interactions is the less than AA interaction and BB interactions. And coming to the negative deviation, AB interactions is more than AA interaction and BB interactions. Okay, so here PA means the partial pressure. Here taken the two components, A component and B component. Okay, so for A component, partial pressure is a greater than the partial pressure of a pure component into the mole fraction, and partial pressure of a B component is greater than the partial pressure of the pure component into the mole fraction. Okay, next, partial pressure of a component is less than the partial pressure of the pure component of A into the mole fraction, and partial pressure of the B component is less than the partial pressure of the pure component B into the mole fraction of B component. Okay, so delta V maximum is the positive. Why? Because it is a positive deviation, and delta H, the maximum is a positive. Okay, delta V maximum is a negative because of it is a negative deviation, and the delta H maximum is a negative. Okay, the process of dilution is endothermic and the process of dilution is a exothermic. So this is a comparison between the positive deviation and the negative deviation. Okay, so let us what is it discuss today in this. The solubility, the maximum amount of solute is dissolved in specified amount of solvent is a solubility. And Henry's law, the partial vapor pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction. Raoult's law, the partial vapor pressure of a liquid component is directly proportional to the mole fraction. Ideal solution, the solution which is obey the Raoult's law. Obey the Raoult's law, that is the ideal solution. And non-ideal solution means the solution which does not obey the Raoult's law is a non-ideal solution. Okay, so the vapor pressure is expected than the more, that is a positive deviation. The vapor pressure is expected than the less than, that is a negative deviation. So this is we learn in this session. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshman sir,
Thank you, madam.
for a wonderful explanation. You have used so many videos and animations in the presentation. It was very clear. I hope the children have understood it. There was one doubt which says what is meant by azeotropes.
Azeotropes, madam. The azeotrophs means the boiling point constantly is maintained by the solution.
Thank you, sir. Children, you can revisit the presentation. Again, if you have any queries, you can go back and then revisit, make use of it. Thank you, Lakshman sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Students, we will take a break for 5 minutes and we shall continue with botany session after this.